Hey, thanks for making us a part of your day here on Atlanta's CW Network. I'm Gary Martin Hayes. If you have a question that you would like for me to cover, just call our toll-free line. The phone number is 1-800-WIN-WIN-1. Again, 1-800-WIN-WIN-1. Now, let's go to a question from one of our viewers. Rachel, if I could get you to share the question with us.
Yeah, sure. This message comes to us from Franklin in Stone Mountain, and he writes, "Hi Gary, I hope you're able to help me because I need some answers. I was riding my bike a month ago. I was in the lane that was clearly marked as a bike lane. Everything was fine until this older woman that was driving her car in the lane next to me suddenly came over into the bike lane and knocked me off my bike. It knocked me into someone's yard. I was hurt, but it could have been a lot worse. She told the police officer she didn't see me as she was getting ready to turn right at the intersection. I'm concerned she's going to try to blame me, even though the police officer gave her the ticket. Do I need a lawyer?" And that's Franklin in Stone Mountain.
Thanks, Rachel. And Franklin, thanks for your question. I'm sorry to hear about your wreck. And let me tell you right now, yes, you need a lawyer, and I'd be more than happy to help you and speak with you. Let me give our viewers some alarming statistics about bicycle accidents, and this comes to us from the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety. This is a review of bicycle fatalities between 1975 and 2002. There were 660 bicyclists that were killed in crashes with motor vehicles in 2002. Fatal bike accidents are most likely to occur on Fridays and Saturdays, and the peak time is between 3 and 9 p.m. According to the report, in 1999, 98% of the bicyclists that were killed reportedly were not wearing helmets. 71% of the bicyclists killed in these crashes were riders that were 16 years and older. And more bicyclists were killed in urban areas than in rural areas. It was 64% compared to 36%. And 57% of the bicycle deaths occurred on major roads, and 37% occurred on local roads. 35% of bicycle deaths occurred at or near intersections. And Franklin, I know this hits home for you as you were approaching the intersection when the at-fault driver came over into your lane. Well, what about some stats about bicycle wrecks here in Georgia? Well, this comes to us from the Georgia Department of Transportation. They tell us that bicycle riders are 10 times more likely to be involved in an accident than those riding in automobiles. Between 2000 and 2006, there were nearly 7,000 bicycle accidents in Georgia. In the same time frame, there were 118 bicyclist deaths as a result of accidents. And biking has become really popular over the last few years here in Georgia. The city of Atlanta currently has over 30 miles of bike lanes, and they're adding additional miles in the coming months. Bicycling will continue to grow not only as a healthy recreational activity, but also as a more affordable means of transportation. So Franklin, let's look at your wreck in more detail. You were riding your bike in the bike lane and the driver did not see you. She was negligent in not noticing you when she came up next to you. She was also negligent in not making sure the bike lane was clear when she started pulling over to make her turn. You weren't doing anything wrong. You were operating your bike as law allows in the bike lane when she hit you. And let me tell you this, this is one of the major defenses that we see insurance companies try to use in these cases. They will claim bicycles are hard to see, or I don't know where he came from because I never saw him. We'll quickly want to get a copy of the police report to see if there were any witnesses to the wreck so we can interview them. Now, there are a couple of things I don't know from your question that are very important. One, what time of day did the wreck occur? And two, what were you wearing while riding? Now, let's talk about these things a little bit more. What time of day? If it was daylight and not raining, then the driver really has no excuse whatsoever. The facts get a little more difficult if it is dusk or dark and you are in an area that is not well lit. Which brings up why I want to know what you were wearing while riding. If it was dark and you were wearing light colored clothing with reflective patches, this would have certainly made you visible. Lights on your bike as well as headgear with reflective stickers also would have increased your visibility to others. If this ever were to become a question as to whether or not the driver could have or should have seen you, we could always hire an expert to review just how visible you were at the time of the wreck. And I would hope the insurance company would not contest that their insured is in fact at fault for causing this wreck. Well, let me quickly remind all of our viewers these important safety tips. One, Georgia's traffic laws apply to you. If you're on a bicycle in Georgia, your bike is considered a vehicle and you are required to obey all of the traffic laws of the state, including stopping at a stop sign. Two, please wear a quality protective helmet. Head injury is the #1 cause of deaths in bicycle crashes. And three, wear high visibility reflective protective clothing. Colors that stand out like yellow, orange, or bright red jackets will help you be seen by others. And always, please, always wear reflective clothes when possible. And make sure you have an adequate reflector on your bike as well as your helmet. Now, here are a couple of helpful hints for all of us. One, look twice, save a life. This doesn't just apply to motorcycles, but to any time you are on the road. Always check your blind spot before changing lanes or merging into traffic. Bicycles can be harder to see than other types of vehicles. You should always double check to make sure the road is clear before you pull into a roadway from either a stop sign, a yield sign, or a driveway. Let's be attentive to the road when we operate our vehicles. And two, please keep your eyes on the road. Put the cell phone down when you're behind the wheel. No texting, no trying to dial the phone. So if you've ever been hurt in a wreck and you don't hire an attorney, you know you're taking on the insurance company and their lawyers by yourself. This is not something you should do, plain and simple. This is your money, and that money can be used to take care of your future medical needs or to help you catch up on your bills. Please, you owe it to yourself to call a lawyer to discuss the facts of your specific claim. So if you or a loved one has been injured in a wreck, I encourage you to talk with a lawyer. Talk with me. Just pick up the phone right now and give me a call at 1-800-WIN-WIN-1. Our legal professionals are standing by right now to speak with you. The consultation is free. It's completely confidential. 1-800-WIN-WIN-1.